r/ask Reddit. What part of being an adult were you absolutely not prepared for? Parents getting old. My dad passed away Halloween of 2017. So just over a year ago, I was nearly 22 and my 16-year-old sister was looking to me for what to do. The mirror was the last place I was ready to look. Still dealing with assets and signatures and lawyers and pensions and grief. Nobody prepares you for that. My grandfather passed last September and my mother was executor of the estate. She closed on the sale of his house this week. She literally said today that she is so glad it's over and she wouldn't want that responsibility again. She is 67 and retired, so she has handled everything without other demands like a job or college. Taking that on in your early 20s is absolutely massive. I hope it all settles soon and you can start to heal through the loss. Total respect to you. Having all my close friends slowly drift apart. Yep, this. All those board games collecting dust. I feel this. I got 2 board games for Christmas. I brought one to a party, and everyone said it was too hard. It was only hard because they didn't pay attention when I was explaining and re-explaining the rules. Then we played Cards Against Humanity, which can be fun, but honestly, that's what everyone plays at every party for the past 10 years. It's boring. The fact that my progress in life, emotional, mental and physical, is completely and wholly my responsibility. No one really pushes you to do the right thing. It's ridiculously daunting. This. If I don't motivate myself to do something, I'll never make any progress. When you're young you have parents, teachers, etc. to push you, but when you're an adult you have to do everything yourself. There's always something you have to do. Like even when relaxing there's things you really should be doing. Every time I'm trying to relax these days I feel guilty that I'm not doing something else. It sucks. I do ironing in front of the TV. Closest I get to relaxing. How quickly it happened. I am turning 27 this year, and I know that doesn't seem that old to many people, but in my head I'm honestly still about 19. Except my body doesn't feel like 19. It feels at least 119. It just seems to have flown by. Tons of things, but the one thing I never heard anyone else say, maybe they really don't have it or just don't want to say, is having to figure out how to bolster yourself, inspire yourself and reward yourself. As kids, we get parents, teachers, etc. who, hopefully, encourage us, praise us for achievements, celebrate with us. You grow up and half the time your declaration of "Hey, I did a good job" with whatever is met with an eye roll or variations of "Oh, did you want a cookie?" I try to celebrate things, and if I hear something good, no matter how insignificant it might seem to most people, has happened for someone else, I congratulate them or cheer them on. It just sucks that I don't know more people who react the same way. This is true. I was super disappointed that in adult life I get constant "you did X wrong" work faster from management and never ever hear good work when I go above and beyond. And I discovered that's pretty typical for everyone, not just a shitty job. Whoa, sounds like you've got shitty management. A good manager recognizes good work and appreciates it. When I get the payment for a large project I'll reward myself with a really nice bottle of whiskey and a Lego set. Then once the kids are asleep I'll indulge in my rewards. Probably that fact that I still feel like a kid. Definitely don't have the sense of wisdom and maturity I expected. The sheer amount of bureaucracy involved in everything. Forms. They're everywhere. Form fears. That's how they get you. Anything you want to do in life, you've got to fill out a form. They've got forms for everything. You fill it out. T goes upstairs. And then they make you fill out a new form, just to confirm it was you who filled out the first form. And if you ever want to stop filling out forms, well, there's about 5 different forms for that. The first time I got an ear infection so bad that it gave me vertigo, I made it to the bathroom before I threw up but missed the toilet, and I couldn't just crawl back into bed and sleep it off. I had to clean it up first, because there was nobody there to clean it up for me. Not having someone to help you when you're sick really sucks. I got sick after drinking one night, collapsed into bed, and threw up on my sheets. I had to clean it all up myself. I think I repressed the memory of the smell. Loneliness. The depressing monotony of working the same job day after day. It hurts my soul for reals. The other day I was in the break room with my co-worker and boss. I looked out the window and to be funny I said there's a whole world out there, but we all felt the struggle of being stuck inside all day. Also, co-worker and I saw in our pay stub the total number of hours we had been at the office. We wanted to cry lol. Here's some real depressing math for you. Every 4.2 years you're employed full-time you will spend one continuous year working. Not including the time spent commuting or getting ready for work. Paying attention to what makes healthy poops. I wish someone had taught me this years ago. Cries in Ibs. Imposter syndrome. Definitely this. I tell myself I can do my job, but I just feel like I'll be found out one day that I'm inadequate. People in my life think I'm smart. I think I'm only good at making them think that, and eventually someone will discover that I know nothing and have lucked my way to this point. Having my wife, best friend, partner, other half, die at 47, leaving me alone to continue on. My wife passed on Dec. 15th. She was 46. I feel and share your pain. We were married 24 years. Are you doing okay? Do you have people IRL you can lean on for support? Yes, I do. My family and friends, and people from my church have been an overwhelming source of support, strength, and hope. Now I'm trying to find a new normal for my life. I've moved from the apartment that we shared and have embarked on this new journey that is both scary and exhilarating. I know that she is in a better place, and although I continue to miss her, each new day brings renewed healing and discovery of internal hope and strength that I didn't even know I had. Thank you for checking on me. That little bit means so very much to me. Your parents getting noticeably older each time you see them. How incompetent everybody is. When I was a child, adults always had the answer. You would look at somebody in their 30s and they knew their shit together. They had a house, a partner, 2.4 kids, a good career. Basically, adults knew what they were doing, everything was under control. Now I'm an adult. Everything is a shit show. I'm the person who allegedly knows what they are doing. Half the time I'm just making stuff up. Everyone is doing this. Our whole society is held together by well-meaning people making guesses and duct tape. It is terrifying. 15 yo, I know everything. 25 yo, I don't know anything. 35 yo, nobody knows anything. Doing stuff for 8 hours a day. Let's be honest. Doing things for 4 hours a day and pretending to do things for the other 4. More like 2 and 6. Cries in manufacturing. Not having other adult friends, or even potential adult friends close at hand, when your kid, friends, or even potential friends, are almost always close. Close by proximity, close by in the same class, close by at the same stop, close by at the same swim meet. When you're an adult, you're more closed off by your commute, by the train, by the bus, by the preschool schedule, by the 37.5 hours a week that you close yourself off from the ones that actually matter the most to you, so that you can in turn support the ones that matter the most to you. So you close yourself off from the ones that actually matter the most to you, so that you can in turn support the ones that actually matter the most to you. How expensive it is to live exists, and the fact that everyone lives outside of their means. The strong visceral wish for my parents to take care of me when I'm really sick or really sad. Not to the extent that I do anything about it, but how much I ache for that memory of how well they always cared for me when I lived with them. I had a terrible cold a few weeks ago and my spouse and kid were terrific, and friends and co-workers all kind and helpful. But I just kept thinking, if only mom or dad could cover me with a blanket and bring me soup and tell me not to worry about adulting for a while. I'm lucky that they are both alive and still love to nurture me the best they can from a distance, and as much as is appropriate for a 37-year-old. I'm 30 but still live very close to my parents. Last time I had the flu a year or two ago, my mom came. My boyfriend was at work, so my mom went to the store, bought me a sinus rinse kit, some Sprite, soup, and crackers. I didn't let her stay too long since I didn't want to pass my cooties off. Not that moms can get sick anyway, but you know. But I was glad she came, and she sent a text every day to see how I was feeling. Nothing like being taken care of by mom dad no matter how old you get. The fact that life can just change. Not gradually, and not with someone like a parent helping you through it. Just come to an abrupt halt and shoot off in another direction. For years I've been freelancing as an artist, doing children's books, animating for video games, all sorts of stuff. Then my partner and I have a kid. Sure, it shakes things up a bit, but while he's in school I can still work on that stuff while my partner works. Then 5 months ago she has a stroke, and now she's blind. She can't work, and neither can I because I'm at home full time either caring for her or our son or both. I don't have time to hang with friends anymore as I need to organize a carer to come over when I'm out, and after hours on a weekend is prohibitively expensive, $100 plus per hour. Government Medicare gives us almost enough money for rent, and the only reason we're still eating is through the generosity of friends and the fact that my partner had her bank account automatically shave some money off her pay to put into her savings. But there's no going back. Her sight is gone. For good. And her mobility is shot as well. So we're looking at me being full-time care for at least a few years, if not longer. The worst part is I don't feel like I can complain, because at least I can still see. Edit. Thank you everyone for the kind words and suggestions. To answer a few things for anyone just finding this, I'll be talking to a psych or counselor once I've organized the same for my partner and our son. It's not the best thing in the world, but right now they need it more than me. There are various disability services I've looked into and signed up for, but either they can't cater to what's needed, or are unavailable until various government payments come into effect, i.e., I can't afford them without being subsidized. Friends have been able to help occasionally, but the best I've been able to manage is having maybe 2 to 3 hours a week of free time, and even then not at a time when I need it. I used to be able to go for long walks if I got too stressed, and it's kinda hard to organize that in advance. Right now my focus is letting my partner unwind from hospital. Not easy to do when you have no AC and temperatures are record highs for weeks at a time. But after that I'll be pushing her to actually do something. Learning Braille, dictating a novel, sculpting, anything but sitting in a chair listening to audiobooks. The school have been fantastic with my son, and have been really supportive of him in class and out. Thank you again folks. It's been a rough few months, and I didn't expect my comment on the Ups post to get this much attention. It's lifted my spirits after a long week of staring at doctors down the barrel of a lawsuit and being permanently on hold to various government departments and banking institutions. Please take good care of yourself too. This is my big fear, that a health issue will come along and completely derail the train of working every day, making money, keeping our home, sending our kids to college, etc. Kudos to you for caring for your partner. Being in charge of all my meals. I gained 40 pounds within like 6 months. Edit. For clarification, this was like 14 years ago when I started college, and the main culprits were the Chick-fil-A on campus and frozen food like pizza and corn dogs. I have the opposite problem, where I'm not eating enough because I can't afford and don't have the energy to prepare all my meals. I was not prepared for how much time goes into actually feeding myself properly. Don't have energy to cook because I have eaten. Haven't eaten because I don't have the energy to cook. Having a job I don't like but can't quit because it pays well and wouldn't be able to get the schedule and paid leave anywhere else. I always assumed all grown-ups had jobs they loved, found out what they wanted to be and lived happily ever after. That common quip about how money can't buy happiness? Bullshit. Yeah, this is a rich people line. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy freedom from stress, which is pretty close. I think that's more about like it doesn't solve emotional turmoil. As someone once said, money can't buy happiness, but it's a lot better crying in a Benz. Being alone. If you don't have someone by the time you're in your late 20s, you will find yourself alone a lot. I'm 27 and rarely have someone to do stuff with. That sucks dude, but it's not always true. I'm 32 and meet with friends every weekend. You just have to put a lot more effort into keeping relationships with people. It is genuinely hard work but worth it to fight back the loneliness. Your path to independence is filled with the loss of people. There are people you sincerely care about that will just disappear because of distance and growth in different directions. When I was a kid, I was afraid of losing everyone to death just because that was such a set out end. Now, I'd say the older people in my life that I've maintained friendships kinda just sail off into the sunset, and it's a good final resolution. As people my age though, it just sometimes feels like whatever connection we had became meaningless overnight. You can contact them all you want. Try to fight for it as you can. But that's gone. That nobody gives a shit about you. Downside, nobody cares. Upside, nobody cares. The loss, everything goes. You lose friends, family, time, hobbies fall away, and things that once brought joy now take up space or get broken and has to be disposed of. Losing your sense of self. Losing sight of what you thought your life would be. Just loss. Cooking the stuff my mom makes with ease. It's not as easy as it looks and nowhere near as tasty. I'm learning though. I have the total opposite experience. I realized that cooking wasn't too terrible and there are thousands of recipes out there. No more shitty meatballs and rice, shake and bake, or hamburger helper. Now is the time for lo mein, chicken pineapple quesadillas, pulled pork, and so much more. It's rare that my food comes from a can or box anymore. Thankfully, my moving on is encouraging my mother to finally start stepping out and trying new things. Roasted chicken, turkey chili, cheese enchiladas. I love cooking so much and I'm so glad that I've learned how to make food for myself and my family. I just wish I had grown up with good food too. Haha. Existential crisis on a daily basis. How fast time goes, realizing that you don't have as much in common as those that are younger than you. Sitting in front of a PC for 8 hours used to be fun when I was 16. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.